Parenting is chaos, laughter, and love. It's the hardest, happiest ride you'll ever take. So real mamas, let's get talking. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, and subscribe for more parenting tips. Hey there, mamas, and welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about generational suppression in motherhood and how it's being really devaluated. And I went through this myself. I think this is a really important topic, and please, mamas, spread the word. Please spread the word, because being a mother is the most important job that you will ever have in your life, and it's a job that never goes away. It never stops. That being said, I want to give you a bit of history regarding the whole women's rights movement. Now, when this women's movement started with Gloria Steinem, who is amazing, okay? You know, we're all happy that she did that. We all want to vote. We all want to have jobs. We all seeked an identity, and everyone seeks an identity. And we have this enrolled in us since we're young, from even first grade or even kindergarten. What do you want to be when you grow up? Have you ever heard that, right? You don't really hear kids today, or at least I don't hear any kids today saying, I want to be a mom. I used to say that, but today, it's the usual. I want to be a teacher. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a cop, a firefighter. Not a lot. You won't hear a lot of lawyers, doctors, and accountants, but you'll hear all the fun stuff. But moms, you won't really hear about it. And truthfully, motherhood is being suppressed, and it's not okay because it's the most important job in the world. Now, when this women's rights movement started, with all due respect, Gloria Steinem didn't have any children, okay? She was single, she was out and about, okay? Imagine you in your college years. Got it? So, she really wasn't thinking of the children of the future, and now it's really being destructive to them. And it's not only being destructive to them, it's being destructive to us moms, us women today. We feel it. And I want you to kind of go into the media. I mean, today now a lot of people are talking about it, and it's amazing, and we really do need to spread the word. And again, I'm not being anti-feminist. I am actually a feminist. However, we need to know the rules of, where the line goes regarding being a feminist, and our children are what's important. So I heard someone say this, and it was so meaningful to me, at least, that she said, you don't need to have children to have a meaningful life, but having children is a meaningful life. And that statement itself is just, for me, it was like, boom, done. And not everyone who wants to have kids, I get it. But when you are having children, you want to be there for them. And the first 3 years are the most important years to give your child emotional support, build that self-esteem, teach them actually how, our kids learn from us how to speak. People are putting their kids in front of screens thinking that they're going to learn how to talk. No, they're not. They're going to learn from you. The best way is from you. And truthfully, I kind of blame the media for this. Truthfully, I do. That we see these like power superwomen, juggling everything, and they look perfect. Those moms? Well, it's not true. They're really sad inside, and they're probably barely sleeping. And they're probably taking Ritalin or a tent or Vivance or anything that will get get them on their feet doing all those tasks. Because, listen, when I was a stay-at-home mom, I wasn't able to do all that stuff. So I don't know a mom who can and come out with a smile on her face. I mean, if you are, please comment below. I want to talk to you and know what you're doing, because obviously you're doing something right. But this movement, it kind of backfired on us moms, and it kind of belittled motherhood. And motherhood is it is the most important job that you'll have, and having kids will not change your life regarding your career. Your career is still going to be there. And this is pretty much what I want to talk to you about is timing. There is a time for everything. And there's a time to have kids and raise them. Just like there was a time that we had to go to school, elementary school, middle school, high school, and then college. Not everyone wants to go to college, right? You have a choice. Why don't moms have a choice? Why was it taken away from us that we have to have a career? To have an identity as a stay-at-home mom is not a good choice anymore? Where did that go? Why? Hello, people, wake up. Being a stay-at-home mom is one of the hardest jobs in the world because you see all these other women who are living it up, being very successful, they look good, and literally a stay-at-home mom is probably folding her laundry, matching socks together in her big oversized sweater, sipping a cup of coffee that's probably already cold, and is like, I want to be that. I was there, literally, I was there. That was me. And I felt like I was nothing. I really found myself in a place where I was just like staring at the wall saying, oh my goodness, like, who am I? I mean, I have a degree. Why am I not using it? And then it kind of clicked and I was just like, hold on, wait a second. My own mom raised us. Yes, she did work part-time, but she raised us. And she made sure to be there every single day for everything. And the second that we got older, and I think I was already married. My brother was in high school, and my sister was just entering high school, I think, or maybe she was at the end of middle school. That was the time where she actually went back to work full time, and she didn't give up on her career. She just put it aside because she knew the importance of timing. And recently, I think it was a few years ago, she actually said it to me as well. She reminded me of it, that it's never too late. And we really just need to know when to put it aside to raise our kids and then when to start up. And again, I'm really for being a stay-at-home mom if you can. Not everyone can. I've been there. My husband and I, we got into a little bit of a tricky financial situation. I did have to go out to work. However, we made it very clear that I am going out to work, but it is only half a day, meaning I drop off the kids to the nursery, I pick them up, and I'm with them. And it's not that they're there the whole entire day. I'm literally with them the whole entire afternoon until the evening. That way they see me. And again, at the time, it financially supported us. I understand, I have friends who are doctors, and they tell me it's really, really hard to take off because if I take off, I kind of lose my residency, or, they have their internship, or I don't know what, they can't take off. And you really see it in their kids. And I can even tell you personally, I see it in my kids. The kids that I did have to put in nursery, after a year they were with me at home, but after a year, I see a huge difference in them. Okay, I love them all. However, the kids that I did have to put in nursery are more emotionally attached to me. The kids that stayed home, surprisingly, have much more self-esteem. They have much more confidence. Their English, we have another language at home, which is French, is great. Other than the other kids, they're not, it's not the same. So, again, we love them all. However, I did see a huge difference. And yes, I then, after a whole bunch of research, found out that, yeah, our kids are they have these triggers, these emotional triggers. They go up, they go down, and we need to help them. And the only way to help them is from the first to the third year of their lives. And that's why it is so important. If you're able to, again, if you're able to, be a stay-at-home mom. I'm so for that. And truthfully, when someone says, and I've seen these people, when they're just like, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and then you get a look from this other person, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. And you see this other person's like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, that is the most hardest job in the world. Just that other woman that is giving the stare, she doesn't want to admit it, because she knows that if she stays home, that she'll go nuts. She'll go crazy. Motherhood, truthfully, it's not built for everyone. And it took me a long time to realize this. I know people who motherhood is really hard for them. Really hard for them. And I'm not talking about the little things of changing diapers, because that's physical stuff. I'm talking about the whole emotional roller coaster that you go on with your hormones. And again, I truthfully blame the media on this part, where we see all these, super mamas, and you're kind of like slouching on the couch, continuing to do your laundry. Okay. So again, it really is about timing, and timing is really important. I'm not saying give up on your career. whatever game they want to play, they think twice before taking another game out. And they're just like, hold on, we have to clean this afterwards? No way. We'll continue playing, or we're just going to pack this up and we're not going to take another game out because I don't want to pick it up. I don't want to clean. You can juggle it, okay? But again, what I want you to get out of this is stop belittling motherhood. Motherhood is the most important job that you will ever have. And it is the hardest job because it never goes away. And something that my father actually told me is when your kid is small, you have small problems. But when your kid is bigger, you got bigger problems. And that's sincerely bigger problems. But they really need us there emotionally to talk to them through their situations. My son, literally, I wait for him. He has a full day of learning. He comes home. By the time he comes home, I think it's already 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock already. And I'm waiting for him because I know that he needs the emotional support. And he'll just spill everything. Oh, he did this and she said that and blah, 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 blah. And he'll continue going on. But just the fact that I'm there listening to him is huge for him. He feels that he has a support system. He knows that there's someone there. I remember one time I wasn't feeling well. I went to sleep early and no one was there really to talk to him. And boy, he literally, when I woke up the next day, I'm just like, oh, great, you're home. How are you? And he would be like, oh, I really missed you last night. Like, I needed to talk. I'm just like, okay, so let's talk now. But our kids need us. It doesn't matter if they're young or if they're old. I know I need my mama. I love her to death. Or as she would say, love me for life. Don't love me to death. Love me for life. And yeah, mamas, we gotta be strong and we gotta spread out the word, because being a mom, again, it's the most important thing. And it's what our children are going to remember forever. Forever. That's what they're going to remember. And one more thing. When we feel satisfied and accomplished at work, we ultimately reflect positive feelings, which our children absorb. When the opposite happens and takes place and we're really unhappy at work, our children get that negative feeling as well. And we really have to make sure that that doesn't happen. It is so essential to search for a more suitable and satisfying employment. Make sure that they know that you're a mom. Make sure that you have flexible hours and that they're considerate of you being, having to stay home sometimes because your kid is sick, or if there's a performance. And being there for school performances are so important. Take it from someone who sometimes, my parents could not make it to the school performances, unfortunately, because they had to work. And it did pay a bit of a toll on me. And that's why I personally know how important it is. And again, not all kids are sensitive, but most of them, they do want their parents there. Others must remember that although spending as much time as possible with their children is very important, it is the quality of the time that we will remember forever. Even if a mother is not available to her child all the time, she can still make sure that the time she spends with them is memorable by sustaining the quality over the quantity. Reading stories, having projects together, playing games, making sure that you have a bedtime routine for each child individually. Sometimes, truthfully, I just even go for a walk with my kid. I take walks every single night, and I have a different kid, take a walk with me, depending obviously on their age and their bedtime, but it's mostly the older kids that go with me. And it's just mommy and me time, and we're just walking, and it's a lovely thing that I can do for my kids. Again, everyone finds their own little niche, but a working mother is not less of a mother. Okay, she can create that same special bond with her children by learning how to capitalize on the time that we share with our kids. So being a mother, between a working or stay-at-home mom, is equal to me. And hopefully you agree with me. And I really want to know what you think. So mamas, be strong, be powerful, because you are amazing and we are doing the best that we can.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an adventure.